This is the most controversial response I've ever received for a thumbnail I've made, and the facts that everybody thinks they're working with are wrong. Do you guys really think that Pat used AI just to save a quick buck? I've been making YouTube thumbnails for a full-time living since 2022 and part-time since 2020. I've been very fortunate to work with some talented creators across different niches, one of which is Pat from Deep Pocket Monster. I actually ran into him and producer Dan at VidSummit 2 years ago, and he's been hiring me consistently ever since. Right now we're about 2 hours out of a video premiere, and I'm noticing that a lot of the comments are saying that the thumbnail's AI generated and that Pat cheaped out, or if he's making so much money from a channel like this, he should be hiring a professional thumbnail designer. It's kind of crazy how so many people came to this conclusion, but I think why this might be a sensitive topic right now is because of the tool that MrBeast just optimistically launched and then quickly removed. Now, AI is something that I've been emotionally struggling with for several years now, and all of a sudden, without warning, it just became a dilemma that the whole online industry is conscious of. Leaf Meow says, really sad to see, especially knowing he spends a lot of money on his videos. He definitely could have afforded to pay an artist to draw or edit a thumbnail. Yover Oreo says, we know the cards aren't AI, but using AI in the background just looks stale. This platform is already rampant with AI slop, and I'm tired of seeing it. Well, I have news for you. You're actually right in a way, but wrong in the sense that he didn't cheap out. He did hire me, and
I used AI.
Dr. Cookies, the AI thumbnail is lazy, not gonna lie. I was proud of it. Literally, he could, I don't know, ask the millions of artists who know Photoshop to put together a background for peanuts. But no, God forbid an ounce of effort goes into making anything. Oh my God. I know, there are so many actual artists who could have done this so much better. Hate your AI thumbnail, you could have used creativity, but no, more AI slop. Thanks, bro. In this case, I consider our usage of AI to be completely ethical and thoughtfully crafted. And to prove it, I'll break down our thumbnail process step by step. Here's the play-by-play. We start with a brainstorm where Dan and I talk about the upcoming videos and come up with a verbal idea and sometimes a rough sketch. Then Dan talks about it with Pat and they schedule a shoot date. The difficult part is that I have a vivid picture in my head that I want to build, but I don't always know where I'm going to get the assets to put together to make the image. For this, I'll typically use a combination of real photos, 3D models, and yeah,
AI.
In this very thumbnail, we tried to find the time to shoot real background assets when Pat and Dan were scouting locations in Tampa a month or two back. But between a tight schedule and jet lag, it just simply didn't work out. The next best thing would be a stock photo, but there were very few images on the Tampa Riverwalk. After spending a while searching with no real luck, that's when it becomes logical to use AI. It can be the glue that holds the thumbnail together, if the AI can cut it. Check it out. In 2022, I made this video comparing what AI could make to my thumbnails, and honestly, it wasn't cutting it. It couldn't cut it. It wasn't anywhere close. But in August 2024, Flux AI came out, and ever since, I've barely spent any money on stock photography for my thumbnails at all. Sometimes it still takes a while to generate the asset I need, but in a year of using it now, I've gotten pretty good at prompting. And even if it doesn't quite get it right, if it makes one generation that's almost perfect, then I can go back, use that seed, and make a whole bunch more that give me very similar results. The joy of Flux is that it allows you to fine-tune it in a way that Midjourney, ChatGPT, or even MrBeast's ViewStats thumbnail generator can't. And it's free. We then used the background I built to direct Pat on how to set up his lights and his camera. For this shoot, we needed a warm light behind him to light him like the sun would if it were actually there. And then this area was a little dark, so we added one more light after that. In this thumbnail specifically, we posed Pat above the binder rather than beside it, so that way we'd still have space to put the rooster and the boat and have it visually be in Tampa on the Riverwalk where the video starts. Then when it feels like we have a good selection of photos, Pat, Dan, and I will all go through the photos and pick our best ones. Then I take them and Photoshop them into the final. So I didn't actually document me building the thumbnail, but here it is in Photoshop, and here I am flipping through the layers. Just because the background is AI does not mean that that's how it came out. In fact, here, I'll show you. This itty bitty thumbnail on your screen has over 70 layers and is over 3 gigabytes. Here's a few of the AI assets we didn't use, and the ones that we did use, well, there's actually 3 that I put together. We do carefully plan every little detail, even if we do use AI. And here's evidence that it's working even before the video releases. So Emily Loves Kiwi said, "This thumbnail has me confused. Will he go looking for Pokemon cards on a cruise? Or on a farm? Who knows?" Timothy Colgan, "I love Crown Zenith." Faroan says, "Why is there a rooster behind you?" Excellent question. So already people are responding in the two ways that we hoped they would. And then Unknown Pokemon says, "Love the thumbnail with a fire." Thank you. Thank you. Despite it not saying anywhere in the title or description, a few commenters even noted that this video has to be in Tampa. These are things that we discussed beforehand because they actually do have something to do with the video. The reason we deem it okay is our thumbnails advertise the video in a captivating yet honest way, and our video always delivers. This put us in a really weird place. At the time of release, 1 out of every few comments would be people who clicked, although they were really disappointed at the thought of Pat using AI instead of hiring a real artist. Even though it was wrong, we began to question if the thumbnail maybe needed to be switched. The hardest part of the matter is when we decided to maybe do a new thumbnail, we were already 4 hours in and we had an unusually high click-through rate. Normally we wouldn't want to mess with this. We decided to try and quickly knock out a new thumbnail with a photographic background. We tried a couple and settled on this image. Pat's team was setting up for Card Party in Tampa the night before it began, and I was about to go to bed. But we powered through, getting it switched so the fans could be happy. Because of the rush, we couldn't include scenery that felt like Tampa, nor did we include a rooster. But as soon as we uploaded, we got an immediate praise from a bunch of commenters for changing it out. They were still mistaken, but at least now they were happy. Believe it or not, the newly made thumbnail background that the audience praised us for was actually riddled with distracting elements, so we quickly and efficiently removed them, also using AI. So many artists have ideas that never get made, and even if an artist uses unusual paths to get their vision out into the world, it's a shame when society tries to dismiss it. AI is here to stay, and if we don't allow artists to adapt it into their workflows, we are ultimately going to miss out. That said, this specific situation is a real pickle. Every day, startups pop up claiming that their AI can make an eye-catching thumbnail starring you, and you can achieve it with just a few clicks. For the startup, it's passive income, but for designers like myself, it could be a career ender. AI can't do everything, and I kinda doubt it will ever be able to do some of these things. For instance, sponsored athletes or competitors can't change the designs on their gear. In Pat's case, Pokemon would never look quite right on the cards, even if it's close. I actually think it's fantastic that everyday viewers are considering the technology and how it could affect people like me and working artists around the world on the back end of YouTube. And for that, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for reaching out in the comments section.
Thanks.
And being worried that maybe Pat is using a thumbnail generator rather than hiring somebody like me. Pat is paying me a very fair wage that I set for my work, and I couldn't be happier working with a client like him. So in closing, we did use AI on this thumbnail, but we did it with care and intention, and I know that Pat has my back as well as yours.